right, everyone. Our next step is to put the girl into the picture. So first thing you're going to do is go up to File, Place Embedded. Double click on the girl. And double click to apply. So we want to get rid of the background. And so we're going to use one of the selections tool to do that. And for this one, we're going to try the magnetic lasso tool. So with the magnetic lasso tool, I'm going to carefully go around the edge of her. And for the most part, where there's a clear difference in like contrast of what she's wearing to the background with color and value, it's pretty easy for it to be able to know where that edge is. It's going to get a little tricky once we get up into her hair area. This bonnet is white, just like the background. So where it's not sort of reading an edge, I can click and tell it to put an anchor point somewhere so that it's able to read it a little bit better. And then once I'm sort of back down to her hair, it's able to sort of see the edge better. All right, so when I'm back to the beginning, you'll see a little circle pop up next to the little cursor. And when I click, I'll get the marching ants. So I don't want the background, so we're going to use a layer mask that is down in the bottom of your layers panel. So I'm going to click on here, and the background disappears. You'll notice that you still see two white areas between her arm and her body. So I'm actually going to grab the magic wand tool, and I'm going to click in those two spaces. Remember, you can add up in the options bar, not new selection, but add to selection, lets you add more than one area. And now to make it transparent for my layer mask over here, I need to fill it with black. So if I go up to Edit, Fill, and change the content to black, it will make those two areas transparent. And then I hit Control D to deselect. All right, so now I can use the Move tool and move her around and sort of position her. And next, we're going to put in the grass and then the snow. So File, Place Embedded. I'm going to grab the grass first. You'll see it's .png. What a PNG is a file that has potentially some transparency on it. So somebody has already cut out the background and did that work for us. So it's nice. We can now just put the grass in here. You can transform it. You can sort of play around with that a little bit. Double click to apply it. And what we want to do is we actually want to soften it to give it a sort of a depth of field look to it where it's sort of out of focus here. So we're actually going to add something to this grass layer called a filter. So if you go up to your menu bar and you go to Filter, you can go down to Blur, and there's something called a Gaussian blur. And what that does is it sort of makes it look a little soft, a little out of focus. So if I click on Gaussian blur, you can see like you can go real out of focus to not. We're going to want the 2.5 sort of area, sort of softens it up a little bit. I'm going to press OK, and it has now applied it to that layer. Now, we want the last image, which is File, Place Embedded, and we're going to bring in the snow. Now, this one has the background, but we don't want to go through and select the whole background and add layer mask. What we can do is we can actually play screen mode. And when you change from normal on your layer panel, snow, right above it says normal. If you go through and you change this to screen, it's making the black transparent and making the white show. So now we have the little snow showing with the black transparent in the background.